a dentist and a mother, I have to be one step ahead of my kids to protect them. That's why my kids use Pronamel Kids. Pronamel Kids provides two.
No. Pause on that. Pause on that. What up, YouTube? We struggle streaming today. I ain't mean for the commercial to come in. I had it open in a separate window. I had to find it right quick. But what's up with y'all? Welcome back. We are on another episode. We're doing a live stream tonight. If somebody is actually watching my live, tell me what the mic sound like. Tell me what the mic sounds like. Does it sound good? Is it crispy? Am I too soft? Am I too loud? Somebody let me know. But I want to hop right into it. We doing candle of the evening. Same candle as before. We got the I want to say, I think it's J'adore by Dior. It smells so good. I'm about to light it on up. This is the candle that I am using in my space right now. I have not decided whether I wanted to mix it up or not. Also, just as some news, the fundraising event that I am doing is coming to an end. It ends officially on Friday, but we have a silent auction going on. And in that silent auction, I will be auctioning off a basket of my fifth size bottle candles. So the fifth size, that looks like this. Boom. This size, huge size, pause, super pause. But these are huge size for a candle, about 750 milliliters, maybe a little bit less simply because I had to cut the top off. But that's the size. This candle size. The burn time is 100 plus hours. So you are going to get a long burn time out of your candle. So if anybody is interested, reach out to me in the background. I will put that link up so that you all can get into the silent auction, maybe purchase something. Also, there's other things available within the silent auction. I don't know who all is contributing what, but I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be a good time. Excuse me 1 second. All right. So we're going to get started. You see the title of the live tonight. I want to talk about the Cavs, and we're talking about the Cavs right after their win. They got an overtime win against the Detroit Pistons in their playoff game. I'm going to pull up the stats right quick. Let me see. Yep, 117 to 113. Nail biter. Really had me nervous, though, at the end there because we went up 5. And the one thing, and I'm going to start this off like this. I'm really happy we got the win. We're leading the series 3-2 now. But I got to say, man, I got to say, if any of the Cavs are watching this, anybody who knows any of these players, anybody who knows any of the coaching staff, anything like that, man, what is up with these nail biters, man? What is up with that? Y'all just like to give us heart attacks. Y'all like to have us, sweating and just nervous and full of anxiety. Like, come on. I was at the gym during part of the game towards the end. Actually, I was in the gym during the whole game. And I'm sitting there, before halftime, I'm like, here we go. And I'm going to get into all of that, in depth, pause. But then we get towards the end. I'm in the gym yelling, man. I'm in the gym yelling. Like I'm coaching or something. Because y'all want to y'all want to have all these little silly things going on that almost cost us the game. It almost cost us the game, to be quite honest with you. But I'm glad we got it done. Donovan Mitchell, he played all right tonight. He played all right. He had 21 points. James Harden. Now, I'm going to talk about James Harden. James Harden played pretty good tonight. The stats aren't going to say this, but it was a pretty good 30 points. pretty good 30 points. My issue is he still has some turnovers. It wasn't like in those first two games, though. It wasn't like in those first two games. He did have me nervous. The turnovers, they just can't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? But he did make up for it, playing well, dropping that 30 ball. And, he performed in the clutch for us. And that's what really mattered. What really mattered was in the clutch, James Harden showed up. We had good production from Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Jared Allen had 16 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. Now those blocks I would say were momentum changing. There was one I was thinking about, man, he sent that ball. Evan Mobley, he had 3 blocks. Momentum changing. When you got guys who are getting, James Harden had 3 blocks. When you got guys who are getting blocks like that, it really helps the team because it makes the other team worried. They get scared when they go down there to the hole. Pause. But, they get scared to finish. So I like that defensive effort, especially from Harden. I didn't even realize he had 3 blocks. But once again, I'm glad we got the win. Shout out to Max Strus, 20 points off the bench. But the things that made me nervous, this first half, man, the first half we had so many turnovers. We had turnovers that led up to like 20 fast break points in the first half. Now, we were only down 8 in the first half, but you eliminate some of those turnovers, you eliminate those fast break points. That's 20 points that we talking about here. 20 points. So we would have won the game. Well, we would have won the game potentially by a greater margin. It might not have had to go to overtime. It did, so it is what it is. But we got to lock in, and we have to play with a sense of urgency up front. What I've noticed about these playoffs in general, right? These playoff games in general, the Cavs are good as a comeback team. Excuse me, I'm sniffling my allergies, but the Cavs are good as a comeback team. We are struggling with getting out in front, getting that big lead up front and holding it and securing it. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 games, I think it was in that Raptors series, where we went up 15, 17, almost 20 points, and then we let the team creep back in and things like that. And I know that, this is the playoffs. We've got good teams. You have to be able to handle those scoring punches. But the Cavs got to play better than this. See, the way the Cavs are playing, you're now letting the media and others, including myself, play with y'all name. Pause. They are playing with your name. And it's time that you go out there, especially as we are coming back home for this game 6, you got to go out there, you got to play, you got to get your name back. Because everybody is expecting this team to drop out in the second round. Everybody is expecting this team to do exactly what they did last year, do exactly what they did the year before that. Drop out in the second round. So I'm challenging those guys. I want you to come back to Cleveland and put your foot on the gas from the opening tip. I want y'all to send not only Detroit, but JB Bickerstaff too. JB Bickerstaff, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, y'all are good. Excuse me. Y'all are good, but it's not your time. It is not your time. And see, everybody, including myself, was skeptical about, what kind of James Harden are we going to get in the playoffs? What kind of James Harden are we going to get in the playoffs? We know that James Harden, he performs until the pressure is on. We know this. That's the pattern. And even in this game, in that first half, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, James, you play like you too cool for school. You know, I understand you the smooth guy and all of that, and that's your style of play. But I want to see more of a sense of urgency. When I look at James Harden, and maybe this is just me, maybe this is just me reading too much into it, right? But I was looking at James Harden in the beginning of this game, and I didn't see, any type of spark. You don't really see any type of emotion. And it made me wonder, it's like, are you just so used to losing? Are you so used to coming up short that that's an expectation even for yourself? And I hate to even say that. I hate to even say that. Mostly because, I want the Cavs to win. But I'm watching the game. I'm watching these turnovers. I'm watching the style of play in the first half of the game. And I'm wondering, I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? Why are you playing like this? Like this, I'm not even watching like, real basketball. If you were to play like that in practice, you'd probably sit. Like, what is happening? No sense of urgency. You just kind of standing around watching the ball. Passes telegraphed so bad, I could have stole it. But somebody said something because we kicked it into gear in that second half. But here's my question. Especially with what I've seen in these playoffs, why is it that we got to wait till the second half to turn on the gas? There's no reason we shouldn't be playing the way that we play these second halves for the entire game. There's no reason. Be smart with the basketball, make the right pass, make the right play. Stop shooting so many dang on threes. Take the ball inside. Play through the big men. Pause. Play through them. Tell them to get in the post. I know that Evan Mobley, he's a little bit wiry. He's not the most bulky guy, but he still has some post moves. I would love to see him get developed into something like what Kevin Garnett used to be. Kevin Garnett wasn't just about to take you all in the low post and back you down, pause. But he had footwork. He had little shimmies. He had moves. He had a bag that would allow him to either get to the hole or shoot a well-placed mid-range jump shot. And he would sink it. He would sink it every time. He was almost automatic. I watched one Celtics game, right? Kevin Garnett used to be like my number one or number two favorite power forward in the league. And I was watching the Celtics game one time. And, Paul Pierce, he wasn't doing too much. Ray Allen wasn't doing too much. Rondo, at this time, he wasn't known for scoring, so he's getting his assists. But they literally started the game, and Kevin Garnett had like 14 points straight out the gate because all they did was run some action. Kevin Garnett get open for a little 2-point jumper from the elbow or a little bit extended from the elbow, and he sink every single one of them. Now, Mobley's got the range to shoot threes, but he's not always consistent with making them. Run a play where he has that one step inside, turn around, shoot the ball. There was a play where I was thinking, it made me think of this. So it's a late game play. I want to say maybe fourth quarter. James Harden gets trapped. He goes to pass the ball to Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's in the middle, just high above the foul line. Not in the paint, just outside, foul line extended. All he has to do is turn around, shoot a little 2-point jumper. But instead, he tries to turn around, dribble. He gets trapped, and then he tries to make a pass. And in that pass, he threw it out of bounds. I'm like, man, it's the simple play. You don't You know, us looking for the three, you don't always have to do that. Just get a bucket. Just get a bucket. 2 points is all you need sometimes. I think at that time, the game was either tied or we had a chance to go up a couple more. All you got to do is turn around and shoot the basketball. That's all you got to do. You don't need to do anything else. And, we get guys trying to be the hero. We get guys trying to, I understand you're trying to make the right play. But sometimes Occam's razor. The simplest move could be the best move. I watched some guys give up the layup for a three. Get the layup. Now, I'm not trying to be super critical because we won. This is just the things that I've been seeing throughout this series and that Raptor series. That Raptor series, man, that shouldn't have gone to no 7 games. That should not have gone to no 7 games. Especially watching how we're playing Detroit right now. Jalen Duren, ineffective. Absolutely ineffective. We have neutralized him pretty much, which is good. I love it. I love to see it. I'm switching it back to the more positive note, but I want to talk to those people who said Jared Allen is soft. Since I'd probably say game 5 of the Toronto series, maybe even before that, Jared Allen has been playing, especially in that game 7, Jared Allen has been playing with an energy that is not matched by anybody else on the team. He's been playing with an energy that is not matched by anybody else on the team. Now, I would say Donovan came the closest in that game 4 of this Detroit series because in the second half, he knew he had to drop some buckets. But Jared Allen has been playing some great basketball. I think he's been averaging somewhere around 18, 19 points per game. But what I like to see is he is getting after it on the boards, and he is playing some great defense. Now they've been calling some fouls here and there, but hey, you get 6 of them, use 4. You know what I'm saying? But he has actually been proven, especially in this series. Hey, he can hang with Duren a little bit. Duren is a little stronger. Duren is bigger. Pause. Duren is bulkier than Jared Allen. And I said this maybe a year or 2 ago. I think if Jared Allen was able to put on about 15 pounds of muscle, he would be one of the most dominant centers in the league. He'd be one of the most dominant centers in the league. Also, he had a little foul line jump shot too, and I don't know why they went away from that. They were exploring that either last year or the year before last, and I'd like to see that explored again. So he started making them a little bit. Same with Evan Mobley. I think I've said this in a previous video. Evan Mobley, if he could put on like 20 pounds of just straight muscle, they be 2 of the more dominant big men in the East, at the very least. At the very least, they're already what I would consider premier in the East. I can't name two in the front court that's better. Now you might name one here, like you might say, okay, well, Cat is better than Jared Allen. Yeah, he is, but he is more of a scoring center. Jared Allen is like a old school center. You drop him the ball, he's gonna sky hook it. He's gonna, he's got a couple of post moves. He'll take you in the paint. He's gonna dunk on you, but he's not hitting jumpers and all of that. So, but that's not what I want from him. I want this 16 to 20 points, maybe the occasional 22, 24, and old school center. Old school center. We don't have a whole bunch of plays, But when we get you the ball, we know that you are serviceable enough to get us double digits in scoring, get some rebounds. You're going to be the rim protector as well. So that's what I like from Jared Allen. That's what I like from his play so far. And I know I'm kind of jumping all around and all of that, but, you know, hey, we live, baby. We struggle streaming. It is what it is. I'm jumping all around. I'm going no notes right now. So I'm literally I'm looking at the box score. I'm looking at names, and I'm just saying stuff, you know. But that's how it's going. As far as Donovan Mitchell, his play has been a little inconsistent lately. I did like that second half effort in Game 4. I really like that. He almost set the record. 39 points in a half in a playoff game? That's crazy. Crazy work, but I need you to get that effort going for the whole game. Now, I know he hasn't always been, first, second quarter type of guy. He wants to get guys involved. But sometimes Donovan, back up. You're seen as the leader of this team, right? You're seen as the leader. Now, I understand you're trying to get guys involved. I understand you want to get them the ball. You want them to get touches. You want them to get into their rhythm, and you want it early. Sometimes you got to lead by example, bro. Sometimes you got to lead by example because you don't want to be in a position where you're trying to turn it on and it's too late. Excuse me. You don't want to be in a position where you're trying to turn it on and it's too late. You want to be where you can say, hey, I'm about to go out here, I'm about to drop 10 quick points, and then I'm about to get y'all involved. Or I'm going to see what I can do offensively. I'm going to get y'all involved. Because here's the thing. Teams are going to start to get hip to your patterns. They're watching film. Guarantee you, Detroit right now, they drank some coffee. They about to ice up and stay up and watch some film because they want to know what they did wrong. And they know they're coming back here to Cleveland and they're going to have to get a win if they want to advance. So you've got to switch it up. You got to turn it on from the jump. And that's what I'm expecting to see in this Game 6. You got to turn it up. I want all of them to turn it up. Max Strus. I think that we need to get him going and going early as well. Jalen Tyson, I don't know, man. I was glad he only got 3 minutes tonight, and I was glad about that because brother was not getting it done today. Not getting it done today. When that technical foul happened, I was like, hey, don't you piss off Tobias Harris. Next thing you know, he'll have 30 points. I don't need that. But like I said, I'm glad we got the job done. But here's the thing. The way the Cavs are playing now, they're trying to get their name back. And James Harden, this is especially important for James Harden. Now, I'm going to do kind of a deep dive for this. Pause. But, with James, he's known as an underperformer when it comes to critical games and when it comes to the playoffs. This is your chance to turn around the narrative completely. I hope somebody hears this. I hope somebody shares this with them. But this is your chance to change the narrative around completely. You have the opportunity to rub all the haters' face in it. Pause. Including mine. Prove me wrong. I talked mad stuff about James Harden in the comments on the Cavs when the trade first happened. I was like, oh, man. We got this dude. Oh, I know we ain't making it past second round now because James doesn't show up in the playoffs. I was talking mad stuff, but I'm talking about the patterns that I saw. I'm only talking about the patterns that have existed, you know, and the performances that I have seen. Now, I'm not going to say that James Harden is not a great talent. You cannot say that. He has proven that he is a phenomenal talent and a future Hall of Famer. But when it comes to the playoffs, nah, bruh. When it comes to the playoffs, there are very few players who I would take, who I would take you over. Pause. But in this particular series, the first two games was rough. First two games was rough. But now you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to change that around, change the narrative, and really establish your legacy. This is going to be the best shot. The teams who we didn't really want to see, they're not in the playoffs no more. So take this opportunity, bring it back to Cleveland, finish this series out, and then I am fairly certain we can beat New York. Fairly certain. Fairly certain. We have to play our game. We can't let them, establish that dominance. And the one thing I would like to see James Harden do. Now, he did have 3 blocks tonight, but I want to see a little bit more effort on the defensive end, and I want to see a little bit more urgency. Him holding the ball and then, doing the same little tween crossover. We need you, Paul. We need you to come downhill. We need you to go downhill with the ball, attack the basket, put some zip on your passes. When you're passing the ball, when you come down and you pass the ball, that thing should fly. None of the here you go. None of that. I want to see you zip that ball. So those are my little things that I think he could improve on. I want us to win. I want to see us win. I think that I'm not gonna say they deserve to win because nobody deserves to win. You have to go out there and earn it. But I think that these guys are hungry. It's just time for that to translate. It's time for that to translate. So if you guys are really, really hungry for this, let's see it. Roaring Zombie. Okay, we got some comments in the chat tonight. Would I like to see LeBron come back next year? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I think it would be cool. The question I have for that move is, who do we let go? Because that's going to make us nothing but older, but also we're going to need somebody who's going to play that like lockdown defense. If we get LeBron back, I'm assuming Dean Wade is gone. We might keep Max Strus. I don't know what our other free agents are, but we're probably going to see a little bit of a change up in the team. Now, I do think LeBron would be cool because of his playmaking. I will say that. LeBron's playmaking, his IQ, it'll be off the charts. And honestly, I would tell LeBron, okay, don't play the point forward, because if we're able to keep James Harden, that is, let James Harden do his thing. But with LeBron, you now have a guy who's a little bit bigger. He has the size. He can go back to playing small forward, but also, he can dish the ball out to guys. He's going to be that IQ guy, that dynamic guy that'll keep the ball moving. Now, I know LeBron likes to hold the ball a little bit, but as he's gotten older and his need to score the ball has gone down, he's actually engaged in his playmaking ability a bit more. So you're going to see some of those flashy passes. You're going to see some of those types of plays. And I think that might be good for us. I think that might be good for us. Now, if he was to come back, here's the other part. Are we going to let go of Craig Porter Jr.? Are we going to let go? Who are we going to let go of? Because you know Bronny is coming with him. You know Bronny is coming with him. There is no way he's about to just leave Bronny in L.A. Bronny is coming back to Cleveland, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get Bryce in Cleveland too. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next play. Now, he might not want to wait that long, but you never know. You never know. I would love to. I'm a save off from talking about next year too much, simply because we in the playoffs right now, and I want to see how far we go in the playoffs. But shout out to you. Thank you for the question. Let's go, Cavs. For sure. Let's go. I want us to win. That's what I want to see. So I'm focused on the playoffs right now. But it would be kind of interesting to see if LeBron came back. I would like to see what we'd be able to do, especially with him back in the East. I know Toronto going to be mad. Toronto going to be mad. They gonna be, not this again. Yeah, we do. We do want the Knicks, man. We do. We want the Knicks. I'm telling you, I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them. Our bench is better than theirs, for sure. The one guy who I would say would probably be the X factor for the Knicks, who we would have to figure out how to deal with, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks play Mitchell Robinson and Cat at the same time to kind of offset Mobley and Allen. But in that instance, if they do that, I would say attack Cat. Try to get him into foul trouble. And same with Robinson. Same with Robinson. The other person who would be their X factor, OG Anunoby. We got to see how he's doing, because he is coming off an injury, and with them sweeping Philadelphia, he has plenty of time to rest. He's got plenty of time to rest. I think game 6 for the Cavs will be on Friday, so he has time to rest before that Eastern Conference Finals even starts. So that would be my few concerns: Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby. Everybody else we can kind of deal with. My main question, my other question, is who's going to guard Jalen Brunson? Are we going to have Dennis Schroeder try to do it, where he can try to play that pest role, or are we going to try to put a bigger guy on Jalen Brunson to kind of frustrate him? I would like to see who's going to do that. If I actually had my pick, I know Donovan isn't the best at defense, but because he's got that wingspan and because of his strength, I would tell Donovan, hey, man, you might want to try to take it upon yourself in this round to guard Jalen Brunson at certain points in the game. I think he's got the speed to keep up with him. He's got the strength. Just don't go for any of the fakes. Don't go for any of the fakes. Jalen Brunson isn't going to be able to really take you into the paint because of your size, your wingspan, and the strength. So just don't go for his fakes. That's the key to winning that series. That's what I think we should do. What else you got? What other questions you got? Sound a little low? Okay. Shout out to Aaron Animal. Appreciate you, brother. Let me try this. Hold on. I'm going to put my game back down. I'm going to try turning system up a little bit. Is that better? Aaron Animal, let me know if that's better. My phone died, so I haven't been able to check my text messages. So if you texted me, my phone's dead. A little bit? Alright. Alright, what about now? Are you done streaming? So shout out to Aaron Animal. Um, he was just streaming on his channel. Are you finished streaming? He was playing a game, man. Uh, he was playing a game, and it kind of looked interesting. I forget what it was called. Maybe he'll put it in the chat, but it was kind of dope. All right, yeah, you done? All right, cool, cool. A split fiction. I want to play that game. I'm not the biggest gamer. I do like things that I find interesting. I don't really know how to even explain that. That's kind of how I am as a person in general though. I like I like what I like, you know? If I find it interesting, I'll give it a try, and then if I end up liking it, then I like it. And I mean, that's how it kind of goes for everybody, right? But this game looks very interesting. So, it reminds me of another type of game. It's called It Takes Two, and that's like a multiplayer game where you both are doing stuff to achieve a certain goal, but you do things separately yet together. But in this split fiction game, it's like a little bit more adult oriented, whereas It Takes Two, I would say that's a game maybe E for everybody. I haven't really played it, but oh, okay, yeah. So the people that made It Takes Two, they also made Split Fiction. So makes sense. Okay, that's why it looks like that. So this is like the more adult version, but you're not doing things totally independently. It's more together, I would say. But it looks fun. There's like all types of parkour. It reminds me of like what was that? What was that one game that used to be on the phone? I mean, it's not exactly like that, but what was it? Was it Tomb Run or Tunnel Run? Something like that. Okay, Aaron Animal, he said he would give it a T rating because there's a lot of jokes in there that aren't for kids. Shout out to the new dad. He's got all the information on what's for kids and what isn't. So shout out to him. Oh yeah, well hold on, we gotta clap it up because I actually have not talked about that because I know he likes his privacy in that matter. But my boy has a new baby, so shout out to him. Um, did you just play It Takes Two? Man, I gotta play that game too because that game looks fun. So I used to be big into the sports games, action games, the fighting games and stuff like that. And I'd probably say within the last uh 5 years at this point, I really I'm kind of not as into those games anymore. It's just simply I get tired of the same old. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same old thing. Like when I play 2K, it's like, all right, we playing the same game with the same players pretty much all the time. I do enjoy playing 2K still, but it's like I'll play that specifically when I'm playing with other people. Like if somebody comes over and they like, "Hey, let's play 2K." All right, let's do it. But like on my own time and it's just me, no. I'd rather go play real basketball in person, like out on a court somewhere. Same with like fighting games. So now I will never not like this game, Tekken. I will never dislike Tekken, but I can't just sit for long periods of time and play it like I used to. Now I still play from time to time, but I just can't play like I used to. That used to be my game. But now I'm into like the action adventure. I like to, have a story. I like some shooters, not all shooters, but some shooting games. I like some of those. But I say this to say, when I see games like this that pique my interest, and there's like an objective and there's a story and all of that, and it's not just completely the same, but you actually have to run and escape and do something. Like, I like those type of games. I really do. Like, growing up, Crash Bandicoot, love that. Jack and Daxter, woo, Spyro. Oh, man, you talk about fun. Like, those types of games are fun. So this kind of reminds me of like a new wave of that, and it was looking pretty interesting. Next time I'm gonna have to hop in on my boys live, see what we can do. I might play that too. Well, shout out to everybody who came through. I don't know how long I had planned on streaming. I just kind of hopped on. I said that I was going to do a video talking about the Cavs, do a little sports video. And instead, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do a live about it. Boom. Oh, okay. It's on everything. Bet. Cool. So I can pull it up on Xbox. Oh. Only one person has to buy it? Now, when have you heard of a gaming company doing that? Hey, shout out to them. They gave the people what they wanted with that one. Gave the people what they wanted with that one. Hey, that's lit. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to check it out now, because now I don't have to buy it. Somebody else got it. Cool. I can just hop on. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I'm going to do one, maybe two reactions. Oh, you didn't buy it? Oh, man. Okay, now one of us going to have to buy it. How am I going to play with you? Who? Who is Sodi? I feel like that's somebody I know or should know, but I don't recognize their name right now. All right. I'm going to do one reaction, maybe two. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who that is. All right. I'm going to do a reaction right quick. So, struggle streaming. 1 second. I got to figure that out. Maybe I won't be doing a reaction tonight. My screen ain't popping up. I had to fix that. Hey, you know what? I might have to do that. That's a good idea. So, Aaron Animal said I could use that game as like a cool little date night type of game. And you know what? I might have to do that. See? Pause. I like the way you think, brother. See? Right here, see? Wingmen don't have to be in the room to spread their wings and help a brother out. But yeah, I might have to try that. Yeah, man, I'm struggle streaming today. So you missed it, but at the very beginning, y'all play a little intro song, and I thought that it went longer than it did. So I was trying to get everything set up while the intro song was going, and then it ended, and a straight up little like Colgate commercial came on. So I got commercial in the back of my stream. I'm hoping I don't get flagged for that, but I don't care. We struggle streaming. It's all good. I'm not monetized yet anyway, so it's whatever. But it was funny. So trust me, I know I was having issues, man. So listen, it's all a part of the game now. And I talked about this in my last video, but you got to be able to do it for the love of the game. You got to be able to do it for the love of the game. I actually talked about that with some students today. We were talking about, the job market and stuff like that. And one of the questions was, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do something simply because it pays you, or you want to do something because of your interest? And wisely, most people chose their interest. And it's like, sometimes you got to realize, man, you're not about to go viral overnight. You're not about to go, you know, and just be the one hit success. So you got to put the work in, and you got to be ready to put the work in and not get paid for it. It's all for the love of the game. And that's easier said than done because we always want to get paid. But at the same time, sometimes you got to go about it and understand, hey, the bag will come when it comes. And then when it does come, you'll be happily surprised. Hopefully you'll be ready, but also, you'll feel more fulfilled because you'll know the type of time that you put in. Shout out to my boy Aaron Animal. He been on YouTube for what, 4-5 years now? Maybe longer than that. And he has gotten monetized. I don't remember when he got monetized, but he's been monetized for a little bit now, and things picking up. So, he could have quit when things wasn't working out. He could have said, you know what, maybe this ain't for me. But he didn't, and he stuck with it. And now he might be getting a chunk of change or two. Never know. He said, I don't even know how long I've been making videos. Exactly. So I just started. So I'm like, you know what? I just started with this whole thing. I'm coming up on a year, actually. I'm coming up on a year in June. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do to celebrate that. Maybe I'll do a live stream, and I might have some beverages. He said, bro, you're not a real YouTuber until you think about quitting. Hey, that's real. That's real. I would say that for everything. You haven't done it enough until you've considered quitting. There's a YouTuber I watch. His name is MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. And he just came out with a video where he said he's taking a break from YouTube. He's like, you know what? I've been putting a lot of work into this. I've been putting a lot of time into this. And I just need to take a break. I made some good money. I'm making X amount of dollars per month. And now it's time for me to just, take a little break for myself. He went through some family things. He went through some other personal things. And I remember, like, after, he announced it or whatever, and I'm watching it, I'm like, but you ain't really stopped working. And I applaud him for that. He didn't stop working. He actually dove into work a little bit more. But, as Aaron Animal just said, you ain't no real YouTuber till you think about quitting. You ain't a real YouTuber till you decide, hey, man, I need to take a break from all this. And I get it. Sometimes we got to recharge and reset and start doing some other things so that we can come back and keep that love. You know what I'm saying? So keep those types of things in mind. After that, you can decide whether or not you want to keep pushing forward. But it is 1 o'clock. I'm about to get up off of here. I ain't have no reactions to do anyway. I mean, I had something lined up that I could do, but it's not really working. So I appreciate y'all for stopping in. Shout out to everybody who is subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Also, I'm about to be dropping some videos here soon. I'm working on my notes for my next video in the emotional intelligence series. And then I've got some other videos. I got some other things I want to talk about as well. So I'm about to start doing some videos. They're either going to be done this weekend or early next week. So keep a lookout for them. Hey, peace. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Hey, I say peace and hair grease. Stay black. Love y'all. Deuces. I'll catch y'all.